The sunnies ain't going anywhere. So guys, I so wish that I would have known this sooner. And a lot of you may relate. A lot of you may be like, dang, like what she's saying with resonates with me so hard, body. And the first thing that I want to start with is however people treat you, that's a reflection of them, but how you let people treat you is a reflection of you. So let that sink in. And again, how people treat you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. How you let them treat you is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So with that being said, I just want to go into like this very maybe unhot topic. Just very not highly spoken about or like rarely spoken about, but I just wanted to just touch base on it really quick. So basically what I wish that I would have knew sooner is that you can have a relationship with God, and you can praise God in your car, in your shower, in your bedroom, anywhere you are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people seclude themselves to like this building, and there's nothing wrong with churchgoers. I had my experience with churches. There's nothing wrong with it, so don't come at me. Don't shoot the messenger. There's nothing wrong with church goers. I just feel as though a lot of people, they seclude themselves to this idea that they have to be in this building in order to serve God or to worship him or to be accepted by him. And that couldn't be any further than the truth. And I was under that misconception for like most of my life. So again, there's nothing wrong if you feel like you want to go fellowship with your fellow brothers and sisters, and like that's how you feel comfortable doing it. My personal experience, I feel more comfortable having a solid foundation and a solid relationship with God. Like, we often refer to God as he, and like I'm coming to realize that God is not a he, she, or they. You know what I'm saying? God just is. God is the I am. Tell him. He told Moses, or I think it was Moses, tell him I am sent you. He is the I am. When you say I am, you have that conviction. You have that power. And like there's a lot of people that don't believe. There's a lot of contradiction. There's a lot of just misconception, because I think just religion took such a toll on humanity with like the division that a lot of people feel like it causes, because they tend to like just instill like a lot of fear, and it's everything's about, oh, you're gonna burn in hell, you're gonna go to hell, you have to follow all these things. And me personally, I like to thrive on the love. I like to thrive on God's mercy, his love, his loyalty, his conviction, his he's going to convict you. You once you start to walk that walk of self-development, because I think it's all intertwined. It's not just one thing. Like, you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I want to go find God, I want to go find Jesus. Your life is going to change, because that's not going to happen either. You're probably going to face even harder or bigger storms than the average Joe or the average Jane, because you are knocking on that door, because you are seeking. And when the enemy sees that, that's when he's really going to come at you hard, body. If the enemy ain't trying you, you're not doing nothing that's of any value, because the enemy don't come for people that don't got no value. I'm telling you right now, like a robber doesn't come to rob an empty home. You know what I'm saying? The enemy, he knows you got something inside you. He knows you're chosen. He knows you have that ability to crack codes and change your generations to come. So like, again, there's nothing wrong with it. Me personally, I like to have the whole relationship. My relationship is a 24-hour 365 thing. I literally am my own best friend. I literally just sit and talk to God every single day, all day. I have that amazing relationship with him. I have that understanding that I am God and God is me. And I know a lot of you will come at me for saying that, but God is inside of you. And if God is inside of you, that means that he made you in his image. So he is inside of you. He is a living spirit. He is you. You are him. You know what I'm saying? Period. So when you walk around with that conviction where, you know, damn, like, I am made in his image, like, I am like God, you know what I'm saying? I am a God walking on this earth, you know what I'm saying? You tend to look at life differently. You know, you definitely are more in the moment. You definitely are more conscious of your, you know, reactions, and you look at life and like nature and like everything just more, you know, in an expanded level. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't seclude yourself to this, like, oh, I am a sinner, and if I keep sinning, I'm just gonna burn in hell. You know, you walk in this, like, you know, faithfulness and hopefulness that, you know, you have done bad. You haven't been perfect. You haven't walked a straight line, but you are forgiven, and you can change your life at any given moment, at any given second, at any given time. You can turn around and say, I surrender. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not God that people, you know, choose to believe in or choose to, you know, connect to. And I'm not judging that either. That is your, you know, I just like I don't want you to judge me, I'm not going to judge you. That's your preference, that's your belief, and I respect it. Just like I want you to respect mine. I'm not going to judge yours. I'm not going to criticize yours. But I expect the same. You know what I mean? Because I have, you know, there's things that I can say that I choose not to say. Just like another person that necessarily doesn't believe, you know, has a lot of things that they can say also. But, you know, we just need to respect each other's space and each other's beliefs, and that's okay, because none of us are technically wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not wrong, you're not wrong, and like, we're all technically right in some sense. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, you know, like, this digests things in their own, with their own perspective, with their own perception, you know, and everybody is not the same. Everybody's different. Everybody filters everything in different ways, and that's okay too. So again, like, I'm not coming at any people that choose to go to those places to worship, but like, I question a lot, like, you know, like, how is it that like a lot of churchgoers, you know, a lot of these pastors, and I'm not talking about all churches, so again, don't fucking come at me. I'm just talking about most, you know, like even some of the big ones that I've watched, like Joyce Myers, you know, like ladies driving around in jets and stuff, like, while telling people, you know, that are going home after watching her service, and you know, paying to get in, and probably spending the last of their last just to get in there, and tied, and, you know, just be in that building. You know, they're going home to no air conditioner. They're going home to, you know, an eviction notice. And like, it's like all they do is tell you, oh, you have to pray more. You have to just get on your knees, and you have to just live on a wishing star and on a hope, while they sitting there with all the money that they getting from all these people that are suffering, and they sitting there living mortgage free. You know what I'm saying? That's just POV. You know what I'm saying? That's just my take on it. I'm not saying it's I'm saying it's a lot of the big corporation churches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear all the conspiracies, and I don't even really think that those are even conspiracies for real, because what the fuck is even a conspiracy anymore? The conspiracies are just showing up, and they're showing up in your fucking face, and you still want to call them a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? At that fucking point, you're the fucking conspiracy, and you're just in the matrix. But yeah, so, you know, like, I just feel like they're always selling you like religion. You know, they're like selling you religion. You're like basically paying for religion. You know what I'm saying? You're tithing the last of you got. You're doing what you got. All those things are good. All those are good works. You know, God is always going to judge you based on the fruit that you bear. He's always going to know your heart posture, whether you're sitting there with 100, 200, 1,000 people at a service, or you're just sitting there by yourself on your couch. You know what I'm saying? God knows your heart. He knows the purity of your heart. You can't sit there and fake the funk to him. You know what I'm saying? Or to whoever it is that you look up to as your higher source or whatever. So yeah, with that being said, you know, a lot of this, you know, is just a lot of just fraud, you know, and again, that's just my opinion. And so that's why I choose to have a relationship every day, all day. It doesn't just stem from me acting a certain way all week and then just going to this building and acting like I'm all holy. You don't have to have the bumper sticker. You don't have to have the pin on your shirt. You don't have to have the hallelujah everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? When you're convicted and you're chosen, it shows. You glow. You move different. You talk different. You walk different. Stuff is happening for you. You're highly favored. You're God's favorite per se. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to show nothing. The God's glory just shines on your life everywhere you go. So you don't even have to speak. That's one thing about it. Two things for sure. God is going to shine his light on his people, and it's going to show, and it's going to show what he could do. It's going to show what the higher power, the power invested of God in you, that is invested in you, that you put out there, that you believe in so wholeheartedly. That's going to show. That's going to show. So again, people gravitate and some people, it's not Jesus, it's not God, it's something else, and that's okay. I'm not here to knock no religion. I'm not here to knock anything that you bow down to or you praise to. I'm just telling you my opinion and my take on it. And I feel like a lot of the most people suffering on earth, and like they'll always say like, oh, like the evils people always get everything, and like we the ones that always suffer. Like, are you even analyzing what you're saying? Because it's not that those people are evil. Like, you're sitting here like basically just so into and just like pouring into like this cultified thing, and you're just wishing and going to praising and just wishing on this God that's up there somewhere, and like looking out. You have to go within. That's why God says, look within, look within, look within. Like, I can't even say that enough. And like, come to me with the renewal of your minds. Come to me with the renewal of your minds means, like, just renew yourself. Like, question everything. Like, everything you've ever known is probably a fucking lie. Like, question everything. I'm talking about everything. Get your own lens, get your own scope, get your own perspective on things. And just, follow the beat of your own drum when it comes to this. Like, follow your heart. Follow what you believe in. Like, like nobody could judge you. Like, you do you. You know what I mean? And whatever you do, just do it in excellence. You know what I'm saying? Bring value to people. Teach people. Just walk in and just show up in excellence, period. So again, it's not to like knock anybody that goes down that road or knock anybody that goes down my road. Like, we're all chasing something at some point or another. We're all chasing, like that thing to be connected to, like source. We're all chasing, a lot of people are chasing validation. Some people are chasing love. Some people are there's so many different things that people are chasing. Like, if you're going to chase anything, chase self-development. Chase, personal development. Chase relationship. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like I was saying before, like, I know I'm all over the place, but like I feel like a lot of the people that suffer the most is like, these, 10 Commandment abiding, like cult abiding Christians. You know what I mean? Because they're so scared. They're walking on a straight line. They're doing everything that these people are telling them to do, but yet they can't pay their bills. But yet they're losing people. But yet they're facing sickness. Like, you have to add up. You have to connect the dots. Like, you have to have and be connected to source. You have to have a higher connection, but you also have to learn the universe. You have to also know that God made the universe. You have to also go back to your ancestors and the ancients. They followed the stars, the sun, that they looked up, that they went by like the trees and the plants and everything in nature and life. And we're so far driven away from these things. Like, they're so oblivious, like, to us. Like, the signs are all there and we ignore them because we're just so distracted. So if you learn the universal laws, if you learn the the power that you have within, if you learn that God is inside of you, not on you, not out of you anywhere, He's in you. You know what I'm saying? Once you learn that, that's already cracking the code. And you walk different, you move different. I could tell the enemy just does not want me to get this word out because my throat is doing all type of stuff. Excuse me, but I'm gonna get it out anyways. Like, he is not gonna stop me. Like, whoever this word is for is going to reach, and I know that it's gonna be relatable to a lot, because so many people are stuck between, should I go to church, should I, go surrender? Yeah, absolutely you should surrender. Absolutely you should go to church if that's what your spirit feels. Go check it out for yourself. Don't listen to people. You go check it out for yourself. Go see what your spirit tells you. When people are at church and they start crying and people start touching you, that's because your hands are so powerful. You can put your hands on yourself and pray over yourself. Did you know that? Because you go to this church and you have people pray on top of you and you cry and you shake and you fall on the ground. What's that? That's the Holy Spirit. You can have that in the shower. You can have that by yourself. You can have that experience by yourself, is what I'm trying to say. And if you learn the universal laws, you won't even do the 10 crap commandments. You know what I'm saying? Like those fake ass rules that not even those people on the pulpits follow. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them just be cheating on their own wives with the people that's just watching the congregation. Like, I'm not even gonna go. That's a whole different story. But like the big corporation churches, like, if you know, you know. So anyways, like, if you learn the universal laws and you learn about, yourself and the power that you have within, and that God is in you, not on you, not out of you, like, shit just changes. Like, shit just hits different. Like, you are going to just start moving different, walking different, talking different. You're going to start cracking codes. You're going to start piecing together. You're going to start saying, okay, this is why this happened. This is why that happened. You're going to be glad that you went through the stuff that you went through, not sad and just sitting there mourning that shit all day, every day. You're gonna wake up one day and be like, you know what? That shit made me who the fuck I am. That shit drove me to where, if that would not happen, there's no way I would have took this detour. You know what I'm saying? Everything aligns together. You have to align. It's like a radio station. We're the antenna. You know what I'm saying? And the universe is the satellite. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're tuned into, that's what you're gonna see. That's what you're gonna see with your physical eyes. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, I just wish that I would have known all this sooner, like, about the relationship versus religion. And like, for a long time I just let it go. I was like, man, I'm just a child of God. I'm not following nothing. And I was asking God only when I really need it, or when something really, really good happened, I would say thank you. Or when something was really, really wrong, like, I felt like a spoiled brat, and I was under this misconception that if you had a house and you had food on the table and you had a vehicle, you had a job, you're supposed to be content, you be grateful, and like, you're just a spoiled brat, or you're like a devil's child if you go to God to ask for more. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of us stay stagnant. That's why a lot of us play small. That's why a lot of us shrink ourselves, because we're under this fucking spell that it is just made the fuck up. So, I suggest to you that you come into a relationship. Again, if you want to go in that building, you do that. I praise you. I give you my blessings to do that. That's fine. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. That's just, like I said, if you've never done it before, go try it. Just like I did. Go see, how you feel. Try a couple places. Do whatever you have to do. If nothing works, just go home. Get on your knees. Put your hands up in the air like this, and talk to God like I'm talking to this camera, and I'm talking to whoever this video meets. That's all you gotta do. That's it. Simple as that. I surrender. I come to you, God. I give it all to you from this day forward. I move, in your authority and your salvation, and guide me, God. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Put on some music, worship sometimes. Say, I love you, God. Make up your own God song. Sing it to him. Look in the mirror. Look at yourselves, how far you've come, where you've came from, where you're at right now. You may not be where you want to be, but you're not where the fuck you used to be. Count your blessing. Count your wins. Don't count your losses. Your losses is garbage. That's what it is. It's a loss. It's garbage. It's done. That's it. Done data. Move on to the future, to what's ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like my advice to you. And again, like, I wish I knew this sooner, and I wish, But again, I'm so glad that I know it now. Is nuggets. I can give it to you. I can give it to my grandchildren, my children. I can pass this down. I can pass this knowledge down, this wisdom, this light, and and just keep trying to change lives, one life at a time. If you're new here, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, please do. Help me shake this algorithm's ass. Thank you so much, as always. God bless you. Stay prayed up, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.